Alright, let me try this again. I noticed my camera shut down when I was trying to make that video. I was just saying, I was looking on TikTok at some running shoes. Now, I've had a bunch of different running shoes. I ain't been the Foot Locker flicking spokesperson, but I've always kept at least one or two pairs that, we call tennis. General term for just, any kind of athletic shoe. But since I gotten into running, and mainly road running, since I don't really get to the track or have a big grassy field or anything like that for me to actually easily access, especially without driving and stuff. I kind of run more in the evenings too, so the bus don't really get you back and forth to where you could run in other kind of shoes anyway. So I look more or less for road runners when I want to run and shoot. I kind of wondering, what's the deal? I noticed Nike shoes started getting really, really flamboyant and like colorful. Like, I don't know, they got a flicking, what, they got a peacock or a dinosaur and hidden someplace designing their shoes or something like that. Why are they so colorful and Junkanoo-ish looking? I mean, I know all that. I mean, I like to coordinate and stuff like that, but I ain't about the flash in the shoe. I'm more of a performance kind of person. And I spoke on the Boings before. That's what I kind of call them now. The shoes with the excessive cushion in the heel. Which, I mean, if you're a distance runner, which is your thing, I mean, I could understand, yeah, if they're really comfortable and they actually add a lot more spring power, pep in your step, that kind of thing, easy on the joints, sure, great. But for someone like me who still likes to, really like run, not just cruise, I like to actually take off like sprint style, whether I do it for distance or not. I've never had a problem with wearing shoes that allow me to do that, but if you have experience in running, training, stuff like that, and it's not like you do it all the time, I prefer to have a shoe that'll actually allow me to run the way I actually like to run. So someone like actually is fast and just rather somebody that feels fast, if that makes sense. Some of the shoes I've had, whether I've actually run in them or not, them New Balance 574s, I think those are probably the closest thing to what I've seen in other shoe brands that still might actually allow you to get some, real giddy up and, feel your takeoffs rather than just build up to, cruising altitude and then just boing from there. That ain't what builds legs for what I want to do. But hey, that's to each his own. Since more of my running days are more or less for technically leg days, when I don't feel like using my bands and doing my typical leg extension and curl and stuff like that, I get into my 360 mode and just want to do those. The Boings kind of take a lot of the pressure out of the the movement to allow for the muscle building, which I've found is kind of annoying. Somebody scared of speed. Why? I don't know. I could imagine if the ground was scared. Nobody's pressing off of us really hard. These people are pressing off us. Shoes are shoes. And I've noticed they've made them really, really expensive. Them expensive high cushion shoes. If you're an experienced runner that wears shoes like on a regular, say in a street run, I always think, probably because how I grew up or where I grew up and stuff like that, way out in the middle of no place, you watch a lot of horror movies, you get to thinking about escaping and what to do in that situation. Oh, the monsters coming and all them kind of things. As a child, what kind of shoes you gonna wear that you ain't gonna slip down? You always watch all the people falling down in the horror movies and such stuff like that. What kind of shoes they have on? So typically, I want to got in the habit of just wearing stuff that moves when I want to move, not just easy to run in. Those cushiony shoes, if you've ever had a chance to roll your ankle, and seeing how they they just have too much give in the heel. You stand in them now without even taking a step. I've seen people actually put them on and watch the heel like sink and start to twist just as they walk around trying them on, not even running. So if you imagine you take a corner in one of those high cushion shoes, the wrong step, the wrong way, and that's a rolled ankle knee, end of a running career or a training career or just a regular comfortable life. As far as I'm concerned, I want something with more stability. Them old Pegasus, the 90s versions, I should say, I like the style on them. I never actually had a pair because I always figured they were more suited for people that specifically ran like on a track, like for training on flat ground track. But by the time I got to the point where they actually had come out, I wasn't really allowed a whole bunch of shoes like that. So what I had is what I had. I got the Icarus, which was kind of like those, but those were more for if you want to run like turf or in the grass and stuff like that, just comfortable wear around. Cross country was a more diverse or I guess versatile style shoe compared to the what I thought the Pegasus was at that time because I wasn't a track runner. I was a soccer player, so I wanted something I could get in the grass and maybe have a little bit of grip if I wanted to just kick around without having to put on spikes or that kind of thing. But looking back on them, I noticed they switched from a lot of those style of shoes for some reason. It's trying to figure out. It's not that people are getting slower, faster, but softer or something like that. People are into more distance, that kind of thing. But if people are into distance and these cushiony shoes, why ain't the road full of people on the road using them for what they designed them for? They built that extra cushion in them, and now they inside on treadmills. I don't know. I don't get it, but I get me, so I know what I need. I'm looking at some of them. I see in some of these, they brought the shocks back, but now that the spiritual, religious stuff done kick in, now I'm more conscious about what I actually get. I don't want nothing with X on it. I don't want a whole bunch of sixes on my stuff neither. I don't like sixes, especially if they lined up three out in a row. It's just something I'm not gonna be doing. To each his own. To me, my own. Pegasus, I've seen some if they had made the style similar. I've seen they've made them more into Boeings now too, but I don't know. Maybe they'll actually make something for not so cushiony a type of person. I guess maybe soon again. I don't know. And I don't really want to try a whole bunch of other brands and stuff like that because I'm more like a Nike, especially since going to school and learning what key and chi and stuff like that means. Energy, nigh energy, got me feeling like I'm going against the father and stuff like that sometimes by wearing other brands. But oh well, he points me in that direction, I guess, checking, and then if he says something else, then it's something else. I know I'm on the sidelines, but still, there's got to be something I could put on. Even if I go retro, I know you don't want me to go back neither, but still, maybe they bring it back. I'll get me another pair. I saw another pair of Pegasus pop up somewhere, but I can't remember what online store it was I saw it at. So if something else shows up again, I'll probably maybe go ahead and have to grab a pair of those. But if anybody got any suggestions, something I may not have seen or something like that, it's those Duramos I got. Probably the name Ram in them is why the sole came off of them really, really quick. And ended up having holes in them and stuff like that after not even the first month of me wearing them. And I only really got them to wear for like work and stuff like that. I trained in them, but I guess there was a reason they didn't really last as long as they looked like they had. Adidas usually makes some really solid shoes. From what I remember, I've had a few. Not that I put them through the paces because I wasn't really into running too much back in the day. They were more for style. But in the event of a run around, I had something I could run around in. But I noticed the style has changed. What's with all the extra cushion? I was used to think that was for people that maybe were overweight or nagging injuries. I had a still, far as I'm concerned, I know it feels alright, but until I go ahead and get it checked out for sure, and I mean, yeah, definitely the cartilage is 100% solid. I know God says it is, so I'm gonna say it is, but I'm still always got that little bit of caution in there, knowing because I didn't go and have it patched up per se, but I still got the faith to know that I feel like I could still tear off if I really had to or want to, as. But these shoes I've been getting, I try them on, and usually I buy them online, so I don't really get to feel them out before I put them on. They got a habit of not having my size and stuff around in this country for some reason. But one of these days, things will line up, and I'll get me a pair here or there that actually makes sense to me. And I don't like those ones where you get the soft cushion heel and the top solid, where you get the ones with the solid stability heels, and they put the little stretchy elastic band type top, so even if the you start to pull off, you feel like your foot's about to fall off or the shoe about to burst open in the back through the heel from you trying to take off. That's annoying. But since it's that much of a group effort, it really make me laugh and itch at the same time. I notice there's been a dispersion of a lot of the former athletes around town that used to be known for doing this, that, and the next thing. Where are y'all? Everybody that's made it, I could understand if you made it and got in somewhere else and doing some other stuff. But where are y'all with the motivation and advice and this, that, and the next thing? I don't know a lot of these younger people to know what they have done, or still I've been around the track and seen some younger people, even the ones who I seen around then. As far as I know, most of them moved away or did this and that or wherever else, or they just been unheard of. It's not like I live on the track, but I figured I'd at least see or hear something online, something anywhere on the road training or something like that. Somebody tearing off that actually looks like I should ask them about their speed or equipment or something like that. Motivating. What kind of temples y'all out there and looking churchy and ain't really with it, or what's the deal? Y'all know that how it works though. You see it, hey, nice shoes, worship. Hey, nice legs, worship. Hey, that person looks fit, worship. Anyway, praise. Anyhow, some things we do to ourselves, but when there's two or more gathered together, that's when the magic happens. The presence is there. More done, probably definitely less confusion, quicker directions. Oh, maybe some folks just, who knows? We a lot older now, so it ain't like I expect people to still be doing high school stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, the body's still the body. Unless y'all had learned how to switch up and maybe bought some spares or something like that. Maybe I don't recognize some folks nowadays. They done switched it up and they ain't said nothing. But if that's the case, I don't know, y'all buying bodies like tennis? I don't know, I love the body he gave me, so I'ma rather buy tennis until he decide to change me. If he changed me or decide to change me. But that's just me. But I really like those, 92, 93 Pegasus. I was thinking either those, the 574 New Balance. From what I could remember now, I've had a pair of them when I was in Orlando, only one pair. But I was on a torn ACL over there, so I wasn't really nowhere near like full speed. I was more or less just a jogging cruiser, comfortable jogger cruiser then. I know those are retro, but those still seem to be put out fairly often and easy to find. Not too hard on the wallet, that kind of thing. If it was just for styling, I mean, there's a lot of nice shoes. Yeah, they always got some pretty shoes now, different brands and stuff to that. But when it's time for actually function, you want to actually feel yourself doing stuff, not just doing stuff. If I could get Nike to make a shoe that was something like a cross between the Air Force One, the Jordan, was it the Jordan 88s or something like that, the ones with the wings, and an actual heel on it, that's something like not really the shocks, but something like a Icarus heel. It kind of looked like what is it, Air Max hybrid. I think was the Pegasus 93s. I think that's kind of got a bit more of a more durable outsole, a harder or more stable heel, but a bit more durable. So it's maybe like those between the Jordans mixed with like a Nike Pegasus 92, 93, something like that. A sporty trainer style shoe. You all know how I feel they didn't change the name to the shoes that I would have gotten to some kind of meta kana something sound like a Spanish cuss word or something like that. I don't know. So I don't fool with them neither. Coincidence? I think not, but who knows. Anyway, yeah, I'm here. Winding down for the night. Not really sure exactly what to do. Thanksgiving, my mommy's birthday today. Mm-hmm. Thought about turkey. Tried to unthink about turkey. But I do got some turkey in the fridge, so maybe I'll make me a turkey sandwich or something like that. Just to say I had some turkey today. Maybe that's why I picked up the turkey, ground turkey too. I don't know. What would I make with ground turkey right now? I got one hamburger bun left. What would I do? Ground turkey burger or turkey quesadilla? I wonder how that would taste. Anyway, crunch out.